Well, it's time to put down the pills that make you normal, Timmy, because we're going into Kaiser Redux. Yep, Kaiser Redux. Kaiserreich's weird little cousin that's not allowed out of the basement, but sometimes peeks out to say something really weird. I'm sure today's little adventure into Kaiser Redux will be no different. But hey, welcome back to more HOI4, Hearts of Iron 4 fun content. HOI4. HOI4. So welcome back to Kaiser Redux. I'm actually gonna play a nation today. I've been meaning to play for a long time but haven't really got around to doing it, and it has been wildly requested as apparently it's a little bit weird, which I guess now that I say that out loud, that really doesn't narrow it down for Kaiser Redux, does it? Yeah, the nation I'm playing probably isn't one you'd think I'd be going for because of what it looks like at the start, but we are going to be playing the almighty Don host, and it's most certainly going to be a little bit of a weird one today. Now I know what you're thinking. Calling yourself the almighty Don host when you look like you currently do, probably a bit of a stretch, right? But hold on to your little horses there, Timmy, because we will get somewhere today, I promise, and we may actually earn the right to call ourselves the almighty anything, because at the moment, let's be real, we're nothing but an almighty stain on the map. Now we do have quite the extensive focus tree, but it is a bit deceiving as most of these we're not going to be able to do and will disappear once we select the path we're going to do, and I'm assuming a lot of you probably already know what that path's going to be, or you don't. I'm not actually too sure how many people out there actually play Kaiser Redux or who play the game at all and don't just watch some random guy play a game they've never even tried themselves. Now, the big issue with being the almighty Don host is that we are tied to the Germans economically, militarily, politically, alliancely, every sort of lily you can really say. So when the German economy goes bust, ours goes bust even harder. And in our slight moment of weakness, Kalmykia has seceded from us. Now, if you'd asked me what that is beforehand, I'd have no idea. But apparently it's this green area right here. Oh, look. Conveniently where the army was lined up. Oh, it appears our entire army was just hanging out in their capital there. So that made things a lot easier for me. Well, in the great chaos of the Kalmykia uprising, we have been coup d'etat. Krasnov, our current leader, has unfortunately not made it. And with his death, we are now being ruled by the Krug. What's the Krug? I ain't too sure. Kind of sounds like something out of Warhammer. Maybe you're playing a damn orc or something, but they're in charge, or at least for now. And we then get the option of who we want to put in control. And we're actually going to let the Germans have even more control over us, which, considering they just blew up our entire economy, doesn't sound like a great idea, but trust me, it's really not a good idea. And with the last holdout in Kalmykia destroyed right there, we have our land back. And our path has now been decided. We do get quite a few focuses to do, but it's not too in-depth, and we do get multiple choices on where exactly we want to go here, but I already know what I want to do here. Yeah, I won't be spoiling too much here, but we will be doing a Kaiserreich to call our own. At least if we succeed. This could go horribly. And with letting the Germans in, we've now become the Don Caucasian Autonomous State. We are essentially a puppet German government, at least under their thumb pretty tightly in all but mechanic, because that would be horrendous considering we currently have 3 factories to our name. But don't let it fool you, I don't think our leader is from around here, and we are beginning to alter the state, let's just say, put it that way, in a nice way. Can't say it out loud what we're doing, but we're becoming German. How we're making the people here German, I don't know. I won't question it. I don't want to know. We all know how that's happening. Okay, now we have secured our new German state over here, we are going to do a little bit of expansion, because if you really can't tell where this is going, we're going to be fighting the Russians, and that's going to require a bit more land, and also some sort of Christmas miracle or a normal miracle, just some sort of divine intervention to make this work. Okay, first off, we're moving into the Kuban's People's Republic down here, which should should be hopefully not too difficult. I don't really have an army. It's mostly just militia, irregular cavalry, and normal cavalry. But once I get some XP going, we will try to make an actual army. For now, though, we're just going to attempt to move around their lines with the cav that we have free, and then just pin the rest of their army on the front line. And if we can get the majority of their army caught up with that, we can hopefully just walk into a whole bunch of their VPs. Yeah, I think we did have a whole bunch of bonuses for cavalry beforehand, but once we well, we made things a bit more German around here, we lost them. We still have the Cossack collaborators for our regular cavalry, but yeah, we're not going to be using a regular cavalry. Instead, we're just going to use them for now to walk around the enemy's units and get ourselves the capitulation, which will be good because we will get all of their equipment in said capitulation because all their units will be intact. And yeah, it wasn't a lot. Hey, but there you go. We're getting bigger, more powerful, and soon we will take down the Russians. Don't hold me to that. And we are now going to do the same thing to the Mountain Republic over here. Okay, and I think that is all the land we will be taking for now. But we do get a choice here, and it is a very important choice. You see, we got 3 hard-hitting questions to answer here, and we can only pick one of them. First off, we have Raise Russia, which means we will go in straight away on the Russians without any support from the Germans. I mean, that does sound pretty good. It means we won't have to give up any land to said Germans and we can take it all for ourselves, but at the same time, I'm not entirely sure we can take down the Russians on our own. Second option is Together for Victory, where the Germans will support us in fighting the Russians, but in return we have to give up some of the land that we could potentially get from the Russians to our allies in the Reichspakt. And then the last one, I don't even consider an option, is just await the Fatherland's call, where we can just get straight into the Reichspakt and then wait around until the Germans and the Russians eventually go to war. Now, I do think Together for Victory is probably the best one we can do here. We'll obviously have to give up a bit of land to the Germans and our German allies, but it will probably be worth it to get the Russians down as quickly as possible. So I think that is the one we are going to do. But before we do that, I'm just going to go down, recruit new generals, and import new firearms to get a bit more equipment going. And then I guess we're about to start the party. Oh yeah, I should also probably build some actual units too, I imagine. Oh, wait a second. I just realized this just gives you a 20% division organization and a 10% division defense modifier. I'm going to get this too before we go in. I think that's insane. It also gives me a little bit more time to actually build up a unit here and also buy some Romanian guns. They're also hitting all these decisions to get all this German equipment, which will definitely come in handy. I mean, the artillery alone, 400 units is pretty damn good, especially considering I don't have 400 artillery currently, but I do need it. Okay, insane buff added. Time for Together for Victory, and hopefully this goes well. Oh, okay, so as soon as we do start fighting the Russians here, we get this nice modifier for 150 days, which gives us division speed 10%, but also an attack bonus of 25% on the Russians. So I definitely want to make sure that the Germans are ready to go as soon as we hit the button. Oh, should we join Middle Europa? I guess we probably should. We are kind of getting right up the Kaiser's booty this game. You could definitely say that much, so might as well get a couple inches deeper. Okay, I've hit the Reclaim the Motherland button, which means we will declare on the Russians as soon as that is up, because they have just gone in on Turkestan, and even if I don't think the Turkestanis are really going to put up much of a fight, their units moving over there could be pretty detrimental to them. Yeah, annoyingly, the Russians did also unify with the Transamur over here, which, yeah, I was kind of hoping they'd put up a fight too, but, you know, I guess we're rolling hard mode today. Okay, and in we go. Technically, I don't even have to call my allies in, but I probably will have to actually get this winnable, I think. Okay, now we are going to play this pretty defensively, at least until I see my allies actually make a move. The Germans have no interest in securing the east at all by looks of things. Their army is busy elsewhere, so it is just me and the rest of the fellas holding back the Russian horde, which is good for me. I did go ahead and push straight into Volgograd because it was left pretty much undefended, so we currently hold that, and we are holding back the Russians pretty well, and I'm buying Chinese guns, specifically the Fengtian Clique guns, which is very interesting, to fuel the rest of our army, which is being built. But yeah, we're just gonna sit tight, build more troops. Hopefully the Russians are tiring themselves out on me, and hopefully at some point maybe our allies will be able to make a push too. And we can still hit our decisions over here to get equipment from the Germans at least, which is coming in pretty handy. Oh, Russians actually brought in Azerbaijan into their faction, which is going to work out pretty well for us, and that is more land. Also, got to appreciate they just kind of YOLO'd their entire army into me and now left their country completely open. There we go. Nice. Oh, would you look at that? The front over here completely abandoned, and my AI allies having a bit of fun just walking in, you know, and meanwhile, my fronts are still stacked. Yep, they are quite literally just walking on through unopposed. Oh, Germans actually are starting to give me divisions too. Hopefully some of these are actually, you know, they're not great, they're not terrible. This mountaineer is pretty decent, and then they've just given me some militia. Thank you, my Kaiser. You know, I actually ain't complaining though, because I do want to start making a push here, and the more troops we have, the better. And here I thought buying all these Chinese guns was cursed. I can also just go ahead and buy some Giselles off the damn Afghans. You know what? Muskets on the front line. We're doing it. Got out a whole bunch of troops, and I think there's actually not enough Russians here that we can actually just front line this bad boy. I'm still going to micro a whole bunch, see if we can make the most of this, because I imagine they're going to reroute some troops over here, because a lot of them did go up north to go deal with that opening. Now, I'm mostly just focusing on getting a few little encirclements here, just so we can weaken the Russians as much as humanly possible here, because they don't actually have a lot of divisions. They have a lot of divisions, but if you look at their strength, a lot of them are pretty under-equipped, so they definitely can't pump out any more. I mean, that's what I'm hoping anyway. That's what I'm really hoping here. But we can just make enough little snakings here that we get a good push and the Russian line collapses. We should be pretty good here. It's already happening. We've got a lot of open spaces just for us to move into, which I'm going to do, and hope that my allies bring over more troops. Because, yeah, this push is definitely very expensive, but it is working. But it'll only work as long as we take out as many Russians as we physically can right now. There are so many encirclement possibilities, but at the same time, we just need to keep walking and walking. That was pretty funny. I just encircled an Afghan division over here. You know, I'm probably firing your own muskets at you currently. Oh, okay, yeah, we're closing up these pockets pretty nicely, but I did just notice, yet the Germans are now fighting every single person, which isn't great, honestly, but they weren't actually doing too much on our eastern front anyway, so you know, if they keep themselves busy, that's fine. It was super damn early though, 1938. I'm hoping the Germans don't get rolled over completely here, because that'd be very awkward for me. Okay, because the front is getting ever so longer, and we do not have enough troops to garrison it all and make a effective push. What I've done is I set the German units, they sent me in a few of my own just to hold the east. We're not going to push any further over there, at least not for now, and try and make a big push on a big consolidated line to Moscow. And I'm just going to go ahead and slowly micro a few more encirclements over here to the best of my ability and see if we can get something going. The Russians are pretty damn beat, honestly. Like 800 casualties, that's not bad at all. And I definitely think we got the Russians on the ropes at this point, though. We can't wait around too long, though, because they will gain their strength back, so we've got to make sure that we are still moving. Okay, I think it's definitely safe to say when you're walking behind the enemy like I am currently and just encircling huge swaths of the front line that it's probably over for them. Oh, we ain't exactly trucking into Moscow there, more of a light, brisk walk into a undefended city. Okay, things have gotten a little messy. Getting a capitulation going is a little bit difficult. I am spamming as much as I can, just walking into VPs, and the Russians still have a lot to give, apparently. It's okay, though. I've reinvented the old Czech Legion, and we are going east. Oh, Oh, there we go. Nice. Okay, now because I unsurprisingly did all the damn work there, I got every single piece of land, including the Russian Navy. Our allies are looking too good over there in the west, and I ain't gonna help. I gotta go deal with Afghanistan. Here we go, a Kaiserreich to call our own, and we are now officially the Russisches Reich. We're just gonna go with Russian Reich. And if you can't tell from the minus 47% stability right there, we're doing great. And now whilst I'd love to go help out the Germans, I literally can't. Our state is very fractured right now. I've got to go ahead and put down a lot of Russian resistance. None of this land is currently cored. And, you know, I'm still in a bit of a deficit over here. On top of that, I had to demobilize and put our conscription down because of our war support being low, but our stability should get better as we go along here. The Germans will just have to hold out. Yeah, the Russian resistance definitely kicking us right at the bottom currently, but that's fine, you know. it's all fine. Yeah, at least I'm also not losing half my country to the French right now. That would be definitely not great. You know, I have just the thing to really unify all these Russian people who currently hate me. A grand coronation. What's so grand about it, you may ask? Well, let Wilhelm I tell you. There he is. Yeah, we just put the damn Kaiser in control of the country, which is funny, actually, because he's about to lose his own over there. Well, it's not like our nation get any more unstable currently, so we're also just going to go straight in on the Germans and clean this up. Okay, next up, we're rushing down this middle branch right here because we do Reforged in Blood and Iron. We get cores on all Russian land, which, yeah, that would be very nice. Currently, we definitely do not have cores on all Russian land. There we go. We have got all our cores now, and our economy just literally doubled in size, which is very damn nice. We still have quite a little bit left to sort out. Things are still a little bit messy all around us, but I'm sure our German brothers can hold out a little bit longer, because in our new Russian Reich, we are missing quite a bit of land that the Russian Empire did hold. So we're going to rush on down now to the Smolensk Conference, which I assume, by looking at it, might answer a few questions we have left. Alright, I got a couple claim states on the Mongolians too, so I'm going to go ahead and get our land back off them, which I don't think will be too difficult, considering the Indians have walked all the way through Tibet and are now invading them. Oh, just getting my scientists out to get my special projects going, and I get the feeling that this scientist in particular is going to make a lot of big promises and not deliver. Okay, we're now doing the Smolensk Conference, where hopefully we can get our land, and it looks like it's actually turned into a pretty big stalemate over here, although they did just get a really big encirclement right there, so I don't know if the Germans are going to hold on much longer. So I guess it's going to be very important that you give me all my land back, right? If you want me to come help, you gotta give it back. We also finished pacifying the Mongolians. It doesn't look amazing. The borders could use a bit of a cleanup, but that's on the to-do list. Okay, we're gonna get real cocky here. I could just ask for Belarus and Ukraine, or I can ask for everything. I'm gonna ask for literally everything, because come on, are you in a position to say no? Well, Germany left the conference, which means we are not going to go help them. Instead, it looks like we're gonna have to go ahead and deal with the Syndicalists, but we'll conveniently wait until they take over all of Europe, I think. Well, the Tsar has passed, Kaiser Wilhelm has moved on, and we now have our new leader. We have Wilhelm II. Oh well, the Reichspakt has collapsed, and there goes the Germans. At least the German Germans, not the Russian Germans. We're still looking pretty good. And it does mean we are going to go ahead and start securing our front line here. Sorry, Ukrainian People's Cossacks Republic, which is just one hell of a name. You're going to have to come join us. You don't want to fall to the damn Syndicalists, do you? Okay, we managed to get half of Ukraine, and then the French got the rest of it. Don't mind the fact Poland's currently occupying it, because they are also fighting the French right now, and they just walked straight into the land as they released it. I'm going to try and get a whole bunch of Belarus and then Finland, and that should be it until we go and take the rest directly from the French. There we go, got everything there but this one little state. The problem is, obviously, the French have been fighting the Reichspakt this entire time, so they got a whole whole bunch of points, and we do not have any. Yeah, I could have gone for the Baltics, but it's way more important, I think, for us to get Finland. I don't really want to have to deal with a front up there. It's much better if we just have one big front to deal with. Oh, boy. I haven't really been looking around in the world, and what's going on here? It was really depressing, though. I've been building up this whole time, and I got quite the fight ahead of me. The Entente are still fighting the French in the International, which, you know, I'm sure is helping a little, but they're still busy over in America. Okay, there we go. Sovereign Order of America, absolutely horrendous and terrifying, but they are in the Entente and fighting the Third International, so I'm kind of hoping these guys are going to come over and focus a bit on Europe now, and as soon as they do, I'm going in. Annoyingly, they did invade the Ottomans as well, so I'm going to have to go garrison down there as well. Okay, screw it. We're going to wait around any longer. I'm justifying on Ukraine now. We're going to go to go ahead and try to finish off Europe here, and I literally mean all of Europe here. All right. No idea how this is going to go, because I imagine all of these nations, yeah, the Germans have rebuilt their army, the French got a whole bunch of troops. Don't think we'll have to worry too much about the British, but we do have to face all of Eastern Europe now, which has rebuilt all their forces, and they're all lined up to kill me. All right, fellows, we made a big push for Ukraine because they didn't call everyone in at the same time, so it was pretty much just the Ukrainians there, but now, as you can see, everybody is here, which could play the defensive because they are attacking into me, and hopefully wear them down a bit here. Okay, this is a bit of a jump. It's not really too much of a jump, I'll be real with you. We just kind of stood around for ages, grinded them down. Then I hit the go button, and now we're here. I've just given up on Southern Europe, though. Every time I make a push, they just naval invade somewhere behind me and land again, just like they've done back in Greece. So I'm just not even going to push. I'm just going to try and finish them off. Push really hard now into Europe and get this done with. Oh, just stole 17% of a fission bomb there. Oh, my Kaiser, we are home. We've also made home in everywhere now for our enemies, bar the British and Greece, which, yep, still haven't bothered taking. Okay, we're going into the UK. I did build up a little bit of a navy just to get supremacy, as I couldn't actually get my fleet out of the Black Sea for the longest time, which is, well, that's kind of on my bad. I don't know that it really mattered in the end. Anyway, if I could get them out, I just built a new one, which is way better, and has destroyed the British Navy and should hopefully get us this landing. And more research for me to still. Yeah, I haven't done like any secret projects, bar radar, and a bit of the submarine one, because, you know, I've had a lot on my plate. And weirdly interested to see if after we deal with this and we actually get the peace deal going, if I can actually reintegrate the German land into mine and get cores on it. That would make sense, right? We are, you know, Germany in a way. I was kind of worried about like having to share the peace conference there with the Entente, but they've quite literally done nothing, like at all. Even after I had destroyed pretty much everyone on the Eastern Front, they didn't even land in France. Oh, for the first time in a very long time, I actually just got ourselves a very peaceful and easy peace deal to go through. Don't have to worry about no bad borders or anything, because the Entente thankfully did nothing. A little bit worried about what's going on in Africa, but, you know, not my problem. Okay, now, bear with me as I deal with this. Okay, yeah. No, sadly, they didn't think ahead, and you can't actually go ahead and just annex the Germans and get cores on it. That would have been pretty damn powerful if you think about it, having all of Germany and Russia as cores. Yeah, that'd be pretty good. You know what, just for the hell of it, I'm going to set up everyone as puppet states, just so we can get a nice, final, good little map going. Oh, there we go. We've liberated all of Europe by liberation, by the way. Definitely not liberated in the slightest. Everyone is now my puppet, which, come on, you know, it's pretty cool, right? I mean, the Russian Kaiser, there's our... Sorry, did I say Kaiser? It is very odd, though, because obviously the French released the German Union, which I'm assuming got rid of, like, the actual German cores, and they still have it as core states, but it made me release them as the German Union, so they still have all of the syndicalist focused spirits. Yeah, which is definitely a little bit odd, but you know what, we're done at this point. It's 1948. I could have gone on, done some more, but that war did take a long time. I'm sorry I didn't show too much of it. It was very boring, and I'm on a bit of a time limit while I'm recording this, because I am currently recording something else at the same time called the Mega Campaign. But either way, that was was a very fun Kaiser Redux game. Very schizophrenic, that is for damn certain, like most Kaiser Redux games. But I am going to ask you guys now, who else should I play in Kaiser Redux? So I want to come back, play a whole bunch of nations in January, and play some meme ones. So if you could leave me some good suggestions down below, stuff that I'd find interesting or fun. I already know that you can get the Kaiser over in America too, so I think that is on my list already, so don't comment that. But if you've got any more meme ones, let me know down below, because I'd really like to go and play a whole bunch of nations. But yeah, until next time, little Timothy. Not too sure when this video's going out, but if it's before Christmas and you celebrate Christmas, hope you have a happy holidays. If not, happy whatever day Christmas is this year. And hopefully you ate some food. But yeah, anyway, I'll smell you all on the flippity flip. Goodbye.